inspire us. So yeah.
We had the same fucked up childhood.
Yeah.
But the other idea was, I believe as producer and producer-director that your duty is to create a beautiful horror film. You know, something that really resonates in the orphanage or this or any of the movies, that they need to have a really beautiful, valid, aesthetic proposal. And Troy had it in spades.
And I definitely made a very, right away, I made a decision that because most horror movies that take places in houses are like old rundown houses, and I was like, no, this house is going to be beautiful in the daytime, just a place where an audience wants to be, so that when you start introducing those scares, then it makes you a little uncomfortable. Like, wait a minute, this is a really nice house. Why is this stuff happening here? And so it does bring a richer sort of back. You know, you're waiting, you hear the creaking things and broken windows and stuff, you're waiting for something to happen, but you know, you're seeing this beautiful, beautiful home, and you don't know when something is going to happen.
And an entire, for example, the nursery or the child's room is entirely inoffensive.
Yes, yeah.
Entirely, like, it looks like out of a you know, Bed Bath and Beyond catalog. It's like,
and that was intentional as well, because the idea was this little girl coming from Los Angeles, kind of this little hip kid, and so they, you know, her dad, who doesn't know her very well, and his new girlfriend who's never met her, create this room that they think this little 9-year-old girl would love, and it's not at all.
And what happens there is scary, and there's a particular object which is a stuffed bear that becomes very menacing. My favorite novel in the world is Frankenstein, and I'm going to misquote it horribly, but the monster says, I have such love in me, more than you can imagine, but if I cannot provoke it, I will provoke fear. And I think as a child that was disfranchised from everything, that was in a world that was the wrong size, run by the wrong people and the wrong morale and the wrong rules, I felt completely outside of that. And I wanted some measure of control. And the measure of control I found through fear. But the reality is that I feel that fear is a very spiritual emotion. And that in a world where we are so pragmatic and so materialistic, fear is the only emotion that allows even a sophisticated person with an iPhone and an iPad and a car and a cable to believe in something beyond. We are such skeptics that we find it corny to believe in God and angels and this and that, or spiritual afterlife and all that, but the moment of fear makes our spirit so vulnerable that it allows us actually to believe in something beyond that, and it's very beautiful.
Yeah, and for me too, I mean, there's that feeling that you have once the fear is gone, and I think that's why
the wet feeling.
Yeah, well, I think that's why people skydive. You know, it's once that fear is dissipated, you know, it's that euphoric, you know, that energy that your body created. You know, and there's something very stimulating in that, and I'm sure that's what drives audiences to go and see scary movies. So they can feel that after the scare is gone. Because there's something when you see a really scary movie, you come out of that movie, you're like, yeah!
Or yeah.
Yeah, but you have all that surging through, and I'm sure, you know, it's great to be able to give people that feeling.
It's also a boundary, and there's nothing that defines who you are more than boundaries, whether you cross them or not, in every aspect of your life. So horror is a really great boundary. Me? As I said, mainly real life. I mean, but I do seek ghosts, and I would love to see one, but I would definitely crap my pants. But I still am going to look. I mean, Mike Mignola, Danny Elfman, and I, when we were doing Hellboy 2, there's a hotel in London, very famous, the Langham Hotel. And there is 2 rooms in that hotel that are haunted. One is haunted by a lover that committed suicide, and the other one by a man that strangled his wife. I booked the wrong room. I wanted to book the one of the guy that threw himself out the window, and I booked the one with the strangler. But you know, Mike, Danny, and I said we're going to spend the night here. And then 2 guys go to the bar, the other guy stays 30 minutes alone with the lights off. And we were setting the rules, no knocking, no moaning, no doing bullshit, and then we hear, ooh, and it was Danny Elfman's fucking ringtone on the But the absolute, my testicles dropped like 3 stones. And I was like, those 2 seconds that it took for me to realize it was his fucking ringtone and trying to insert his iPhone where the sun don't shine. That was very scary. The rest of the night, nothing happened.